You have tuned in to Seattle Connected, the show that connects you with entrepreneurs, business people, movers and shakers in our community. We're letting you know who they are before they become household names, which we know they soon will be. You know the drill. Today with me is a special guest who's making sure that your kids are taken care of. Not just taken care of, but she's giving them the skills they need to be productive young adults at some point. But it starts from the ground up. She is committed to educating them and giving them the proper tools that they need so they can educate others. And it's a family vibe, so you gotta love it. Please welcome my guest, the queen, and it's her birthday, Miss Apple. How's it going?
Good morning.
Yes.
Going great.
Hey, how was the intro?
Really good.
Okay. All right.
I'm excited.
Thank you.
Excited to be here.
Yes, I'm glad we can make this happen. I appreciate you coming and everything. Happy birthday.
Thank you so much.
Yes. I was like, she's 21 again, but you're not. But, you know, it's all good.
I know, reaching 42 years.
It's all good. Yeah. Yeah. Let me know how that is when you hit 40. I need someone to let me know what to expect.
I will.
I'm in my 40s, so sorry. Let's mess with you. I got issues. Yeah, so welcome. So, A for Apple Learning Center?
Yeah.
Yeah? That's what's up. So, now, first of all, Apple, are you from Washington originally?
I am born, raised, currently reside and have ownership in the Central District.
One more time.
Born, raised, currently reside, and have ownership in the Central District.
Man, CD stand up. Yes. Yeah, that's where I was born and raised. That's what's up. That's a beautiful thing. And I know you've seen the changes throughout the years. And
yes.
You know, but I'm glad you're still there standing strong and representing for us.
Definitely. Yeah. It's been a blessing to just make sure that our presence is on the block. You know, we have more than one house that my family owns on the block, and they know our family pretty well. So, it's been a blessing.
And you were like, I ain't going nowhere.
Not going anywhere.
Get used to this face.
Every time I get a phone call, just about every day, you have $2 million?
Yeah.
And they click. So, okay.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Yeah. I like doing that, man. I get people calling all the time saying, you know, hey, are you still ready to sell your house? And it's like, I never said I was ready to sell my house, right? And they're like, well, can we convince you? And I'm like, yeah, I'll tell you what, $5 million cash. Hey, I'll be out today, like right now.
And they click.
Yeah. I'm like, what happened? What? Just $5 million? You asked? I mean, hey. So, Apple.
Yes.
Tell me about your background in education. Yeah. So when did this start?
So actually, I joined the field about 16 years ago. Okay. I was about 21. I had recently been diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. So I was in the banking field. Thought I was going to go high up in the banking field. But again, I got diagnosed with multiple sclerosis at 19, and I was kind of lost as to, do I want to be on disability or what do I want to do? You know, I wasn't new to the education field because my mom was a educator as well. She actually started A for Apple home daycare.
What?
About 33 years ago. So watched her build a family business out of our home.
Yeah.
I watched her work. I had ideas, suggestions, but again, it was her business.
Shout out to your mom.
So once I started feeling good with my health and everything, I started taking early childhood education courses just so I could be on one accord with what my mom was saying to the parents, what she was teaching the children. I really wanted to know because, again, I was at home, you know, doing nothing, just making sure I was in good health and getting back to my livelihood.
Yeah.
And so I started diving in about 16 years ago, like full-fledged, taking courses here and there. I remember about 8 years ago, I sat with my mom. I was like, Mom, and Facebook, matter of fact. Yeah. I said, Mom, I'm going to ask Facebook about a name change for A for Apple Home Daycare because it really was more than a daycare.
Right.
She was helping to educate the children. She was supporting their development. She was having relationships with families. Mind you, I was her employee then, right?
Yes, of course.
So I'm coming to her with all these ideas.
Yeah.
She's like, what? Okay, Pooh. I guess we can do. And so I got a response from Facebook, and they said, you should change the name to A for Apple Learning Center. So we changed the name to A for Apple Learning Center. Mind you, I'm still her employee, right?
Yeah.
But I have in the back of my head, hey, I want to really take this entrepreneurship for myself to the next level.
Right.
And I see the need for families wanting childcare, early learning for their children. They would often want to bring their children to our preschool program, all the while we're limited with space. My mom was able to serve 12 families. So I'm doing my research. How can I find a building? How could I find a building? I knew it was going to be hard for us to leave the Central District because my mom was like, well, I'll be open to moving, but it has to be somewhere in the Central District.
There you go.
So I started just sitting and going to different places, seeing how much the rent was, what was their limits and everything. Could we even have a child care in your building?
Right.
Sat back, was like, oh, okay. But all the while, I'm still thinking about my entrepreneurship. I'm like, hey, for Apple's going to be big one day, So I actually had Africa Town. They approached me and said, hey, Apple, we think A for Apple Learning Center will be great in this building. My mom, she was, oh, okay. All the while, here I am. I remember my grandmother walked into the building with me. It was like just gravel, and she couldn't see the vision, but I told her, Grandma, I have a vision. And she was like, I trust you, Pooh. And I was like, okay. And so I signed a contract, signed a lease. My mom, she signed the lease. I said, Mom, we're going to be business partners. Okay. About time that happened, our whole verbiage and our whole conversation started changing. So we became business partners. I remember it was like 2 weeks before we did our grand opening, and my mom, I took her to see the learning center, and she was like, oh my God, it's really happening.
Yeah.
I was like, Mom, this is what I've been doing. We're able to serve 64 families opposed to the 12 families you was serving. Like, I really want to take A for Apple to the next level. And not only just serving families within our building, I wanted to make sure that we took it a step further and served the community. So we became a nonprofit. I said, Mom, let's change our entity to nonprofit. So we're a nonprofit as well. So do a lot of community outreach. So here we are, A for Apple Learning Center.
Yeah.
I just graduated with my bachelor's in education.
Okay.
On the road to getting my master's as well. So I see some different things happening with A for Apple.
Lots.
In the next couple of years. Yeah.
Yes, lots. And like I said earlier, shout out to your mom.
Yes.
And shout out to your grandma as well.
Yes.
I
love them.
Yes.
We're a very close-knit family.
That's important.
And I can talk to them about anything, and they're really like one of my biggest rooters. They root for me all the time. Them and my siblings. So.
That's good that you have that.
Yeah.
That's important. And you have your family, your mother is a business partner.
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
She says I'm her boss. I say she's my boss, but
well,
we're each other's bosses.
Well, yeah, because even outside of business, she's kind of your boss.
Yeah.
I mean,
you
she
can't
gave
tell your mom no.
Nah. She gave you life, and she could take it away from you. Yeah.
Yes.
Shout out to her.
I appreciate her.
Now, where was her learning center at?
Yeah, so we actually started at my childhood home, which I now own.
Okay.
And my mom we didn't have a bedroom. So my siblings and I, my two brothers, we didn't have a bedroom. We slept on roller bed while everything in the house was childcare. But 5th grade, I remember telling my mom, I'm becoming a young lady, Mom. I need my own bedroom.
Right.
And my mom was like, she didn't want to leave the neighborhood. And so our old neighbor, Mr. June Joe, I'll never forget him. He told my mom, you've been a good neighbor, and she was able to purchase the house next door. So the child care spent over 26 years there. Up until now, we're on 23rd and Jackson in center base.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's amazing. I think that's so cool that you not only have your roots in the central area, but you continue to help that area thrive. You know, you're one of us that is from there. You know the story, you know that all the changes that it's been through, and you continue to support, you know, and I think that's awesome because it's showing the next generation that it's possible. You know, that you don't have to move out, and, you know, if you do by chance, you can still be a part of the community, you know, because that's inside of you no matter where you move. So I think that's awesome. So, you know, you get an A for that. That's awesome. Now, Apple, what inspired you to, I guess, you know, seeing your mom, you know, before you, but I was just wondering, now what inspires someone to take on such a challenge like starting their own learning center? Because I know it's a challenge enough stepping in the field of child development or any sort of education, but to be your own boss and wear all these different hats. Like, was that something in the back of your head, or were you like 1 foot in, 1 foot out? Because that's a huge task.
Yeah, I was all the way tapped in.
Okay.
Like I said, my family's full of entrepreneurship. Like my mom and her 2 siblings, they're all entrepreneurs.
Okay.
So I knew it was always in me. I just wanted to take it to the next level and just having my mom on board, because I could have easily said, hey, Mom, we're going to have an A for Apple part 2 where I just run it, you know, but I really wanted to make sure that you just be the executive director. I want her to pay. She's done paid her dues, you know, and so she does light work now. And she's getting ready to be 60 in December.
Whoa, you just threw it out there, huh?
Well, she says, I look good.
I'm sure she does.
Yeah, she does. So
just threw it out.
I just wanted to make sure, like, the next season of her life, that she's able to reap the benefits and just know that everything that she's instilled in other people's children, I've watched, and I'm able to, she tells me, she's passed the torch to me. And so I've been just tapped into making sure the central area is like really thriving as far as early childhood education.
Yeah, I think that's dope to, as your mom said, pass the torch to you. Sometimes young people get discouraged when there's something that they want to do and they feel like they're not getting the proper mentorship that they should, and those before them kind of want to like hold on to the reins of whatever it is, and they're like, you know, it's stunning my growth. I mean, I know a lot of times we'll have jobs where, you know, you're trying to learn, you're trying to do your thing, and there might be someone who's been there for a while and they just kind of not give you the knowledge that you should have and the opportunities because they don't want to lose their spot. But I think that says a lot about your mom and her own willingness to say, hey, I raised my daughter a certain way. If someone's going to take over, I want it to be her. I'm going to play the background. I'm going to be the assistant coach. And if she needs me, she can find me. She can tap me on the shoulder. But yeah, that says a lot about, you know, the job she did raising you. So I appreciate that, man. Yeah, man. So A for Apple Learning Center.
Yes.
Now, when a parent brings their child in, what can they expect their child to come home with? Like, they're enrolled. How is A for Apple Learning Center making a name for themselves aside from some of these other childcare centers? Some of them are chains, and, you know, it's kind of like the copy paste method of doing things. But from what I've heard, A for Apple is a lot different.
Yeah.
I've heard that it's like really family oriented and community based. Is that true?
Yes, we're very diverse.
Yeah.
We teach American Sign Language. First of all, my program starts at 18 months.
One more time.
Our program starts at 18 months.
18 months?
Yes, on up. So I have toddlers as well. I have a wonderful toddler program.
Yeah.
We teach American Sign Language plus Spanish. I have dual language teachers. We're a dual language program. We just was able to get recognized this past year for that. As well as when they transition over to the preschool side, we're doing American Sign Language, Spanish, and French. So we're bringing different cultures, and I believe children learning dual language at a young age is important because their skills can only enhance. And I love hearing parents say, my child's at home saying this in Spanish, saying this in French, and they know this sign language. So, yeah, I just want to make sure that we're able to support all of our families in our environment. So I made sure, okay, I have a lot of families who do speak Spanish. I was really tapped into American Sign Language because my younger brother, who just like recently, a few years ago, retired from the NFL, he had been diagnosed with some hearing loss. And although we always taught like American Sign Language here and there, like basics, I really took it a step further because I knew I needed to support him eventually. And then I wanted to encourage my family to jump on board too. So it's been great for my family as well as the children in our care. Yeah.
What's been the response from your family as far as the Learning Center goes and you being your own boss now? And were they really, really supportive? Or some of them kind of skeptical?
Really, really supportive.
Good.
My brother, he's my assistant director. My younger brother, my baby brother, Valentino, he's my assistant director. So we're all educators, and it's wonderful that a male's presence. Young children get to see male greet them at the door. Somebody who looked like them, black and brown. So I know I hear moms, even single dads, say it all the time, like, we appreciate your brother being there, greeting my child. Just that fist pump or a hug every morning.
It means a lot.
It means a lot. So
that's good to have that support from your family, and it extends out to the rest of the community. And that's really cool because I think it says a lot when kids are excited, to come to your Learning Center, and then they're upset when they have to leave.
Yes, I get that all the time. I secretly laugh to myself. Like, oh, yes. Like, especially those children who had challenges transitioning in, to a new environment. Because I tell parents all the time, just think about us going to school. Or think about us on new jobs, how we feel. They're just doing their reactions. So once that child feels comfortable and know that the staff loves them, we care about them, I love the fact that they don't want to go home. Secretly I'd be like, oh, yes.
You would rather it than their parent comes and they're out of there like, oh, I was waiting to leave. Let's get out of here. Yeah, that's so awesome. That is really cool. So I got a question for you.
Yes.
Now, you being a mother.
Yes.
Are your own children jealous of the attention that you're giving to other children?
No, okay. I've always made sure it was a priority that I support my children. Whether I'm at their events or activities, and I might have the headphones on because I was in school, but still my presence mattered. You know what I mean? Or just showing up for them. I know I told them I was going to step back as far as my master's, but it kind of just eased up on me. It's like once you start, you can't stop.
Right. Yeah.
But they're supportive. They love the fact that their mom's being successful and that I continue to grow, and I'm able to, whatever I learn, I'm able to apply it to my parenting as well. So they like it. And I make sure to juggle my time. And that's why I have a whole team, 11 employees, where I'm not overexerting myself with the business. I'm able to be mommy mode, go to field trips, go walk them halls. You know what I mean? Go show up and let it be known this mom cares.
Yeah, you have a good support system, a good team. and you're only strong as your, you don't want to say weakest employee, because you want to build an environment where everyone matters. Yeah. Everyone knows their position, knows their role, and things are going to be that much better. You could try to take on 10 things, but I promise you the results are going to be a lot different. Right. A lot of
the wealth.
Yes. Share. Come on. One more time.
Share the wealth. That's what, when I built A for Apple Learning Center up on 23rd, I wanted to make sure that my team, they're either in school to complete their degree in early learning, or they've already completed their degree. Mm-hmm. I don't want just daycare workers. I want to know that you're really growing, and you want to know how to nurture these children, how to support these families, so everybody's feeling included. So I don't have like lead teachers. Everybody's a co-teacher, because we're all learning from each other. I tell them, even myself, I done learned so much from many of my teachers, and I thank them all the time. We sit back and have reflective meetings on how we can do better in the classroom, and I made it a point to where every last Friday of the month, we're closed for teacher development. You're going to be required to do your hour of training, but you might want to take an R&R for yourself. And I wanted to make sure that I put my teachers first as well, because oftentimes we look at supporting the children, but how are we not burning out the teachers? So it's been working for about 5 years doing that.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. And I like that you are letting them know that, hey, I appreciate you, but I know sometimes we all need a break. Yeah. And I'm not going to burn you out, because what good is an employee that's burnt out and they later get disgruntled or just frustrated? Right. They're not that viable to your team. So it's like, look, you're human. I appreciate the work you're doing. I want you to continue doing the work you're doing. So, whatever I can do to, take some of the load off, that's what we do over here at A for Apple Learning Center. Yes. And then you're going to have how many locations coming up?
I've been presented to expand. Yeah. But right now, I don't know. I see in the next few years that I have a small charter school, making sure just that gap of early learning isn't missed. Like, I have a wonderful partnership with Thurgood Marshall Elementary School, where I was their community change maker, their African-American community change maker last school year. And like, a lot of my students go over there for kindergarten, but my students are going over there equipped for what they're looking for kindergarten. So I want to be able to have that on a bigger scale, where more children are going into kindergarten equipped, and they're not doing what we've already taught in preschool, So I want to make sure I can bridge that gap and make sure that everyone's supported.
It's going to happen.
So I know it's going to happen. It's going to happen. My grandma always tell me, you're going to be big, Lonnie. And I'm like, probably so, but it's going to come, baby steps.
It will. Yeah. It will. And I'm sure you look back at some of the steps you made and you're like, wow, so many years ago, I didn't think I'd be this far. And then it kind of inspires you to what the future holds. And you're like, yeah, we could tweak this. We could do this differently, always finding room for growth, just like we do with our children. Yeah. So that's awesome. What's one of the biggest challenges that you would say that you faced going into this?
Entrepreneurship with the Learning Center. I would say just the support, just looking at all the different type of children who come into the environment. Okay, they come from different backgrounds, but their caregivers actually picking up the slack to support them. That's been a struggle for me, where it's like, why don't they do? Do they really think my team's supposed to do it all? But it kind of makes my heart soften a lot more for those who need that extra love, extra support. So I would say for me, that's one of the biggest challenges that I had to face. And also, like, being from the neighborhood, being from the hood, everybody knows me. My mouth used to kick, boop, boop, snap, 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 tell you how to go, where to go, when to go. But over the years, I've became more humble with thinking before I speak and my choice of words.
Yeah, a lot of people need to do that.
Not only was I hurting others, but I was hurting myself when it wasn't purposeful, but in reality I was. So just a lot of growth for me, being able to think before I speak and take my time, because I'm one of those, like, being the only girl, I like this done, that done, that.
Yeah.
I'm the oldest too, so do this, that.
Yeah.
You know, and so these last few years been really humbling for me. And I think today my story or my post was continuing to walk in my purpose. And that's what I'm doing. And it feels good.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Wow. That was a lot. You inspired me. Apple, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
The next 5 years, I see partnerships with my cousins. We've been having this goal for the past few years of opening a small charter school. We have a location, but we want to just make sure, again, that we're bridging that gap. It's so much that needs to be done as far as quality educators, parent accountability. So that's where we're coming up with a plan, a strategy. So hopefully in the next 3 years, we'll make our plan happen.
With the drive you have, I'd say 2.5, 2. Yeah.
My cousin keeps saying, you're going to go for your doctorate. While she's in her doctorate now and I'm getting my master's. I'm like, maybe you're probably right, though.
You're like, let me just finish the master's first. But but you're probably right.
Probably so.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I believe like every child should have a IEP, a individual education plan. And this is something I do in my learning center. So all 64 children has an IEP because everybody's different. There's children who's going to be that needs extra catering to. There's children who's going to be thriving. But how are you going to support that child individually in the classroom so that they still feel, I'm doing it, you know, where it's not like you're singling any child out for being up here or down here. Yeah. So that's something my team, we make sure to create IEPs for everyone. And that's what I believe should happen even in what I say the next level of schooling, elementary.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, man. That's, I'm with you. I would like to say that you were living with your shirt says. What does it say?
I'm trying out here being magical.
Yes.
Yeah, you know, we're a learning center, but I do a lot of community outreach. I give new coats. I'm doing a new sock giveaway. 5,000 socks were donated to me. So I'm going to do a new sock giveaway, new coat giveaway. I had another community partner, Queen Care. They said, oh, you're doing that? Well, Apple, let me donate some new hats and gloves. Okay. I had Trey Simmons called me, hey, Apple, you want to team up with, we're going to be doing, oh, okay, well, let's do that. Yeah. I had Seattle Public Library reached out to me, said they wanted to provide 200 new books for us for infant on up. So I do a lot of community give back. I also just had Keisha Credit there, and we did carriers and me class just to keep new moms and dads dancing, and great network to support postpartum as well, and just building community. So I open my space for that. I do Kaleidoscope Play and Learn twice a week. Open my space for outside families who may have their child with nannies, au pairs, other caregivers, grandparents. Just opening my space for an hour twice a week, just so that their child can get that experience of being in an early learning setting, you know. I don't know. This is new for me as well. Yeah. Sitting here and talk. I'm used to just kind of running things, but I see my season now that I've been asked to speak more and share my story as a young woman, entrepreneurship, and that's fine. I like doing it. I hope it encourages more to be with their family, team up with their family, figure out a goal together, not just single-handedly, and just talk amongst your family to see what you guys can do within your community to be great. Because for me, it feels good. And I thank my mom. I thank her for giving me that first platform, even though I remember she named A for Apple Home Daycare. She was in the bathroom and she ran upstairs we were at my grandparents, and she ran upstairs and she said, my childcare is going to be A for Apple Home Daycare. And my brothers and I was playing football. We were playing football in the house, and we're like, what? Next thing you know, we're moving to the rental property in the Central.
Yeah.
And was there ever since. So
dreams come true.
Yeah, dreams do come true.
Absolutely.
I'm blessed.
So has the coat drive, has that started yet?
No. So it's not even a coat drive.
Okay.
I'm giving new coats.
Oh,
brand new coats in the package. One of my community partners, Operation Warm, they donate me about 500 new coats, various sizes, once a year. So they'll be sending those out this month.
Okay.
So that'll happen in November when we do our give back.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to let you know Seattle Connected is here for anything community based. So if you need us, let us know.
Yes, I will.
We would love to be a part, but since you got like 500 coats, I mean, you don't need our help. I might need your help, but yeah, I applaud you for everything you're doing, because you seem to really enjoy what you're doing.
I do.
And we need more people like that. And we also need to embrace those that we have, that we see, that we know are doing the best that they can to be there for our families and, you know, our children, our elders, because a lot of times when those people get overlooked and then one day they move on to a different profession, or they, you know, they pass on, you're left with those memories, but there's always that thought in the back of your head. Did I let them know how important they were to me and my family and the effect that they had on me? You know, so it's good to make sure that you let those people know, you know, I see what you're doing in the community. I appreciate it. You know, if there's anything I can do to help, so be it, because it's easy to point out there's not enough people doing this, not enough people doing that. But it's like, okay, but what are you doing? And even if you aren't able to, for whatever reason, are you supporting those who are doing?
Yes.
So that's important. I'm sorry, that was my little spiel. So, Apple, would you like to let people know how they can get in touch with you, or give out any shout outs? You know?
Shout out again to my mom, Deborah Von Coleman.
Yeah.
She's an amazing woman, amazing entrepreneur.
Yeah.
So I thank you, Mom. I'm blessed to have you as my mom and my business partners. So thank you. Also, if you want to reach out to A for Apple Learning Center to find out more information on the events that we do in the community, or if you need childcare needs, reach out a4applelearningcenter.org or 206-698-2433.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once again, Apple, thank you so much. And when you open that next center, please come back.
Yes.
Or even before then, just let us know if we can help in any way. You know, we salute you. Happy birthday once again.
Thank you.
And continue to be magical. And I thank you guys, as always, for supporting. Appreciate it. And like I always say, it's important to take care of others, but please make sure you take time to take care of yourself. Till next time, stay connected. Peace.